Hi and welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comments section. Please like and share the video as well. You may be listening to this on a podcast form as well. Talking WWE King of the Ring. That's right, it's back for 2019, the King of the Ring tournament. 8 superstars from Raw, 8 superstars from SmackDown Live, all be competing to be the King of the Ring. Is it going to be all the Raw guys against each other? Is it all the SmackDown guys against each other on the road to the final with Raw versus SmackDown? Or are we going to get the wild card factor? We don't know at this particular stage, mainly because WWE hasn't released the brackets. But I can tell you the names that will be involved. I'll start with the Raw side, the 8 superstars there. We've got Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Cedric Alexander, Baron Corbin, Cesaro, Ricochet, will it be King Ricochet, Samoa Joe, and The Miz. From SmackDown Live, their 8 superstars are Andrade, Ali, Elias, Kevin Owens, Buddy Murphy, Apollo Crews, Chad Gable, and Shelton Benjamin. A good lineup there of superstars, and what I look at this and see first and foremost is there are no people really that don't need to win this. Everybody kind of needs to win this, which is really cool. And maybe minus 1 or 2. None of them have been world champions, so that's good to see as well. This really could elevate a superstar and push them towards the top end of the card, and it would be much deserved as well to go through a 16-man tournament. I mean, of course, you look at classic old King of the Rings, particularly the King of the Ring tournament pay-per-views back in the early 90s, 93 I believe was the first King of the Ring pay-per-view itself, and you had like 8-man tournament in one night. You had the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final. There may have been a qualifying match leading up to the event. Of course, as we got towards the Attitude Era, it was the semi-finals and the final, sort of like maybe 98, 99 onwards that happened. It kind of feels like here, and this is according to NoDQ.com, that we're going to get all the matches on weekly TV, but the final will be at Clash of Champions. Now, I'm really happy with that because I kind of feel that this should be treated as a big deal, and I feel that it's going to be. If the final is at a pay-per-view, okay, yes, I understand. It would be nice to get more than just a final on a pay-per-view, but there's so many names on a loaded roster now that WWE probably wants to put as many people on there as possible rather than saying, here's 8 guys, they're going to wrestle 3 times. So in that way, I totally get it. And it could be a fitting pay-per-view name as well. Clash of Champions, it's fitting of crowning a champion, crowning a king, maybe someone who's going to get themselves towards the top end of the card. And hopefully this time in maybe 3-6 months, the person who wins this actually will be seen as a top main eventer on WWE programming. One can only hope. Looking through it then, I mean, there are some surprises in there. I'm surprised to see Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable, maybe Buddy Murphy being introduced into this. But I mean, at the same time, there's going to be some guys that are probably going to lose in the first round, which is horrible to say, but I'm going to go through the people I think are the most likely to succeed in this tournament before I give a prediction here. I think the most likely, the safest bet is Drew McIntyre. It favours a heel to win this, and I do feel with Drew McIntyre, he is kind of a main event guy already. This is the little nudge of the King of the Ring tournament. It's like winning a Royal Rumble for him. It would be perfect to put him in the main event from this spot. So I can see that this would be just almost like a token that says, yes, this guy belongs at the top end of the card. So I can see this being perfect for Drew McIntyre as a winner. Kevin Owens, I can see almost the same thing. KO at the moment, so over. If you look at it as well in Toronto, in Canada, of course, Kevin Owens' home country, he was killing it over SummerSlam. Everyone seems to be on board with KO and the face turn at the minute, the stunner, the rivalry with Shane McMahon. I think there is a chance KO could win this. We'll have to wait and see, but I think that those are probably 2 of the heavy favourites. Elsewhere, I'm looking through the lineup here. I think Baron Corbin could be someone who could be with a shout. Now, hear me out before I say it. The heel work is down. Everyone hates Baron Corbin. The ring set, the ring style is all set, but the look isn't. He's still got this GM look that he had when he was the Raw GM last year. Well, we're nearly a year away from that, and I think if someone is going to carry on that King tradition, Baron Corbin would be the guy that would have the crown and the throne, and I think it would benefit him in a character change. I think he could make this King of the Ring gimmick actually work. I mean, if I look at most of the superstars, I don't want to see a gimmick change, but he is one guy I would be happy to see as a King gimmick through WWE. The rest of them, I'd rather them coronated, and I'd rather than they just carried on as normal. King Ricochet, he was King Ricochet, shall I say, on the Indies, so it could be a potential possibility. Andrade, for me, I'd love to see it happen at him and Selena Vega's. Maybe Selena could be the queen. We know who the real queen is, though, of course, in Andrade's eyes. But, we look at that Cesaro as well, Samoa Joe, Ali, all guys that would be perhaps good for the King of the Ring role, but I think we mentioned those first few names. I think they are the most likely. I think Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, I'll say as well, Baron Corbin are probably the top three likely candidates here of being the Crown the King. From a personal standpoint, I would like to see Andrade win King of the Ring. I'm going to throw that out there now. I just think that it might help him a little bit, and I do kind of think with his theme music, I don't know, just the whole vibe of King kind of works with Andrade for me. I don't know, King Andrade. It has got a nice ring to it as well. But I'm going to make a prediction now, as what I think is a safe prediction. I'm going to go for Drew McIntyre as the overall winner of the King of the Ring tournament. I think he's the guy that's going to do it because he is a guy that's got the most right now to gain from this. He's kind of at the main event area anyway, as I've said. This would put him straight into it. He could go against Seth Rollins or whoever's the Universal Champion at the time. And it almost feels like a top heel on Raw is kind of lacking right now. I mean, AJ Styles is the US Champion in a mid-card program. So for me, it would kind of fit here for Drew to go in here and become King of the Ring and then go for the WWE Universal Championship. I think it would work quite well. But that's my thoughts there. I'll give my thoughts about the King of the Ring as well. Like I say, over the years, it has meant a lot to me. It's been nice to see it go all through the years. I mean, it's gone through from the 80s as well. I have to remember King Harley Race. We've had the Macho King, King Haku. Like I said, we've had some great King of the Rings as well. When the pay-per-view was introduced in 1993. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin. We've had Triple H. We've had Edge, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, a who's who of King of the Rings there, and all have gone to accomplish great things in the company. So this can and should mean a lot, and it means a lot to me, and I think looking on Twitter, it means a lot to the fans as well this week. So I personally hope WWE takes this seriously and doesn't do what they've done in recent years when we've seen the likes of maybe a Wade Barrett or we've seen like a Sheamus get the role where they win it and not really anything happens. I mean, someone like King Booker in 2006, they brought it back then and it was used for the final just at a pay-per-view at the time. I believe it might even been something like Judgment Day. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But Booker actually then took on the gimmick and became a world champion. It made something, and it kind of was worthy at the time. So I hope whatever happens, whether it makes a new gimmick, whether it makes something, a world champion, I just hope that this means something at the end. We're making a big deal of this for the right reasons, and hopefully it's not the end of some of these nostalgia things brought back, because, I mean, we've seen War Games being brought back for NXT, now the King of the Ring tournament. It's great to have these things back. They mean a lot to a lot of people who grew up with wrestling in those eras, and I think for the superstars as well, this means something. I mean, I know Xavier Woods was quite upset that he wasn't actually included in this. It meant a lot to him. So it's very interesting to see how it's going to play out. But like I said, I think that right now for a bet, I will be going for the main man, Drew McIntyre, to pick up the victory. And like I said, this means a lot. So I do think it's going to be an exciting thing, and hopefully we won't be disappointed come the end of the King of the Ring tournament. But before I leave you, I'll give you my favourite King of the Ring of all time. And of course, there's been some many great ones over the years, as mentioned earlier in the video. But of course, I can't look anywhere past Stone Cold Steve Austin, the 1996 King of the Ring winner. The birth of Austin 316. Gisela just whipped your ass. It really did sort of kickstart the Attitude Era. Was the birth of Steve Austin, like we say, 316, really took off from here and made the biggest star in the history of wrestling, in my humble opinion. And yeah, for me, it just really made something special, and it was almost the start of where WWE made the fight back to WCW back in those days, and then eventually would win the ratings war and win the war overall. So that would make WWE the standing company that it is today. So for me, Steve Austin has to be the best King of the Ring of all time, just for that reason. And that moment with Doc Hendricks, Michael P.S. Hayes, of course, reacting there, like I said, Austin 316 just said, "I just whipped your ass." It's just such an iconic line, an iconic moment, so you can't look past it. So for me, that has to take as best King of the Ring of all time, in my personal opinion. But I would love to know your opinion of the best King of the Ring of all time. I'd love to know who you think is going to win this year's King of the Ring, and also what you think about the King of the Ring tournament. Are you a fan of it being brought back? Would you like to see more nostalgia moments coming back to WWE? Because it feels like the nostalgia is working. What events, what shows would you like to see come back into the fold? Any gimmick matches we don't see anymore? Would love to know all those feelings in the comments below right now. But that's all from me anyway. Make sure to check out Ask SCW episode 5, which is available now, as well as the NXT TakeOver Toronto and SummerSlam reviews are up on the channel. You may be listening to this in podcast form, like I say, and just go to the YouTube channel and you can catch that content right now. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to everyone that's been subscribing recently to the YouTube channel. It's really good to have the support of the wrestling community, the SCW community. Thank you so much. And like I said, I look forward to hearing from all of you. I do love to interact. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, whether it's about this video, whether it's the King of the Ring, whether it's anything wrestling related. I'm more than happy to talk about it. And if you have a question for Ask SCW, then drop it in there with the hashtag AskSCW, and of course I will answer that in the next time I do that video, which will probably be next week some point, probably towards the latter part of next week. Will probably be the next time I do a video for this channel. So look out for that. It'll be about a week from now, but have a good one and enjoy the start of the King of the Ring tournament. And yeah, look forward to seeing you very soon here on SCW. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Take care, and I will see you next time. Take care.